Finding bright new talent and developing maritime skills is one of the most important factors in ensuring shipping has a strong global future. The Fleetwood Nautical campus of Blackpool and the Fylde College has met the challenge with outstanding results and an array of accolades and awards. We sent Nick Wallis to see what it takes to be a top-level cadet.
If you want to learn the art of seafaring, this place is one of the best in the world.
And I'm here to find out why.
The Fleetwood Nautical campus is doing something right. It trains over 6,000 offshore students a year and has up to 500 maritime students on programme at any given time. Over the last 8 years, Fleetwood Nautical campus has produced 7 of the 8 Maritime and Coast Guard Agency Cadets of the Year. Karley Smith is one of them.
Good morning, Nick. Welcome to Fleetwood Nautical Campus. Fleetwood is very unique in that it's like being part of a big family whilst you do work here. So I was a cadet here in 2006, became part of the team as it is then, and I'm now still here as a member of staff because once you've been here once, you want to return. That's the kind of environment it is. Everybody's very professional, everybody's friendly, and everybody's here to help. The cadets learn not only about managing a bridge or managing an engine room, but they also learn how to prepare for emergency situations when they're on board a ship.
This is the infamous training tank, used for the sea survival sessions at the Fleetwood Nautical campus. Cadets are drilled in sea survival techniques, including learning how to inflate and get into a life raft.
It's a prerequisite, it's one of the mandatory courses they have to do because anybody, if they do work at sea, has the potential that they might end up in the water. In the event that something does go wrong, we have to give them the best chance of survival that we can.
Emergency training also takes place in open water at the nearby River Wire training platform. Here the cadets are learning how to control modern lifeboats. Back at the college campus, cadets are being put through their paces in the engine room simulator.
This is an absolutely fantastic facility, really good, and all the cadets say it's one of the highlights of their studentships here. And as you can see, it's much more interactive, so they can actually go in there, look at the systems and think about how they might manage the engine room when they get onto their ships.
Where do you think the training that you're receiving here will take you in your career?
Hopefully this training that I'm receiving will take me right the way up to the top of the ladder, which would be chief engineer on board any ship.
To anyone thinking of coming here, I'd say get stuck in, don't think twice about it. The facilities are top notch, the education's really good, yeah, it's really good.
And unlike a real ship, all we have to do to get from the engine room to the bridge is walk along the corridor.
This is Fleetwood Nautical Campus's state-of-the-art full-mission ship simulator, which gives cadets the experience of sailing into almost any port in the world at any time of day and in any conditions. It's also an appropriate place to meet the head of campus.
One of the things which we always put top of our list is that in addition to the academic qualifications which the cadets come out with, we realise one of our prime jobs is to prepare them for life at sea. We need to ensure that when that cadet steps on his first ship, or when the officer of the watch goes on the bridge or down below for his first watch, he's prepared for that moment.
What do you need from the shipping industry in order to do your job properly?
We need to continue the funding. We need to guarantee funding is secured for the continued training of British seafarers. Essentially, that's the most important thing. We need that confidence in industry to ensure that we put out premium quality, top-rate British officers into industry. There's been just over £10 million invested in the campus within the last 3 or 4 years with this refurbishment, and it's essential that we do keep at the cutting edge of technology with the bridge simulator and the engine room simulator, because that's what the cadets and the officers of the watch will experience when they're at sea.
Assessed as outstanding by Ofsted and twice commended by the Quality Assurance Agency, Fleetwood Nautical Campus has the optimum resources in place to equip all its cadets with the skills they need for a successful maritime career.
The shipping industry is blazing the way for new apprenticeship schemes. At a recent UK Chamber of Shipping event, we asked industry leaders about employment opportunities and why the Merchant Navy is considered to be offering more than just a job.
The maritime industry is somewhat hidden. There is no one organisation that is a huge employer. But when you aggregate all the various jobs that are related to sea transport, ports, and then the connections into the inland, we're talking at least 500,000 people earn their livelihood from shipping and shipping goods.
It's a tremendous industry, and it's one of the very few where you can go in the shop floor and there's nothing lower than a galley boy. He's even lower than the ship's cat, and work your way up and then come ashore, and there's so many opportunities ashore for people who have practical experience of being at sea.
One day I aspired to be a captain, so gained my Master in Limited certificate competency. And also not just being at sea as well, obviously the UK is a huge maritime nation, so London is almost the shipping capital of the world. So there's so many opportunities ashore, so one day maybe I'll move into the city. I mean, you have shipbroking, maritime law, insurance, just to name but a few, so opportunities are limitless essentially.
At the moment we're working on the apprenticeship trailblazer, and the shipping industry has been selected as one of the trailblazers for the new apprenticeship schemes that will come in 2015. So we're really trying to get in at an early level with the young people to explain to them that instead of looking for a job at a young age, they should look for a career, and that's something that the Merchant Navy can offer, is a career for life rather than the old-fashioned term of a job for life. You can really have a career in the Merchant Navy. Start at 17 as an apprentice and you could be a captain in 10 to 15 years.
Recent statistics show that the current shortfall of seafarers is set to worsen. One company addressing this is Northern Marine Group, part of the Stena organisation. Northern Marine is actively encouraging the next generation of officer cadets with varied career opportunities and high-quality training. Reporter Robin Ross went to Glasgow to find out more.
Glasgow was once the world's centre for shipbuilding. Times may have changed, but the legacy lives on. Here in Clydebank, that rich history has helped to make Northern Marine Group a centre of excellence in ship management services, providing seafarers to a diverse fleet of vessels around the world. The company is part of the Stena Group and has several offices at strategic locations across the globe.
Northern Marine operates a huge variety of ships, from oil tankers of all types, gas carriers of all types, freight and passenger ferries.
Stena-owned Northern Marine employs 8,000 seafarers and 500 shore-based staff, servicing many international clients. A recent report found that the shipping industry will require an extra 42,500 officers alone by the end of 2019 to cope with growth in international trade. Northern Marine is one of the largest investors in marine training. It has 250 cadets from all over the world at any given time. This state-of-the-art training centre is used in partnership with Chevron to develop future seafarers.
Bridge, hello.
It's a 3-year programme. It doesn't matter whether they're a school leaver or an A-level leaver. It is dependent on the route they go down, whether it's engineering or deck. It is a sandwich course, so it involves time as academic in the classroom, both then at sea and also time within our facilities, our simulation facilities ashore.
Stephen Lee and Katie Van have just finished their courses.
Yeah, I feel very good about the future. I mean, throughout the college phase, they have been contacting you, making sure everything's okay, make sure you're all doing well in the academic side of it, and also when you're at sea as well, so it's quite good. They've always kind of kept in close contact.
I'll go back to sea hopefully in a few months as a third officer and carry on up the ranks to chief officer at least, hopefully captain one day.
So you want to be captain?
Yeah, one day.
And do you think that's achievable?
Yeah, I hope so.
As a company, on behalf of our clients and for Stena, we spend around about $25 million a year in training these young individuals and individuals to grow through their careers. So it's not just on the basis of being a cadet, that is day one. These individuals will need constant training throughout their career to get to the level of captain and chief engineer.
These training facilities are as good as you'll find anywhere in the world, and it reflects the investment that is taking place here in Glasgow and Clydebank to enable us to have a sustainable supply of first quality officers for the future.
Stena was established in 1939 and is still family run. Its values are upheld by Northern Marine.
We have a very high retention rate. It is around 92% at the moment, which is high for the industry, and I believe that is down to the way that we train individuals and the values that we hold as an organisation.
Good afternoon, Captain. It's Liam Dodds calling regarding your upcoming port call in Spain.
Some return ashore and use their experience to manage the ships from offices here in Glasgow and around the world.
The marine industry is very highly regulated, therefore you need very good quality people, both ashore and at sea.
The amount of cadets produced each year may be a drop in the ocean compared to those needed, but Northern Marine believe they're investing in the long term.
It's important to the company so that we can retain these individuals for our future growth. We are becoming more and more innovative, and therefore the skill set we need is becoming more and more complex. We bring them in from day one, and we can build on that and we can grow on that, and therefore keep the company sustainable for the future.
Grandfather and uncle were chief engineers at sea, so
you're going to be one?
Yeah, hopefully, if all goes to plan in the end.
The UK was once a world leader in shipbuilding, but global competition closed yards and destroyed jobs. But now, Red Funnel Group, the original ferry operator to the Isle of Wight, is helping to bring the building of high-speed passenger catamarans back to the UK. Nina Warhurst reports on the revival of an age-old industry.
Welcome to the Isle of Wight, home to 140,000 people and many more visitors, and all of them travel by ferry. 40% of that market belongs to Red Funnel. Last year they transported more than 3.3 million passengers. And having up to 450 members of staff makes it one of the island's biggest employers.
It is very cool. Most of all, I love that every day is different. You'd think that going back and to between Southampton and the Isle of Wight would get boring after a while, but it doesn't. It's such a busy waterway. There's so much traffic to dodge, yachts. No day's the same, really.
Red Funnel have 3 vehicle ferries: Red Osprey, Red Falcon and Red Eagle, as well as 3 fast ferries for passengers: Red Jets 3, 4 and 5. The island has a rich history of shipbuilding dating back to 1623, but as the industry nationwide went into decline, in 1999 the last large passenger vessel was built on the island. That is, until now.
Just a few weeks ago we announced that we were going to have a new Red Jet high-speed catamaran ferry built. We're going to have it built here on the Isle of Wight. And that followed a long process of looking all around the world at all of the shipyards that build that kind of vessel. But ultimately we came to the conclusion that the answer was actually right on our doorstep.
Shemara Refit was chosen to build the state-of-the-art catamaran because of its innovative business plan, but also because they're based at the port in East Cowes, which means a £6 million injection into the local economy.
Now, most of the component parts are cut out in Southampton and sent over, and these numbers act as a guide for how it all pieces together to form the structure. Now, at the moment, there are 18 members of staff working here, including 2 apprentices, as well as 6 support staff. But as we head into the winter, there'll be upwards of 60 employees, and almost all of them are recruited locally.
What does it mean to you, and what does it mean to islanders that it is built here and it will be servicing these communities?
Well, I think the logo that we developed between Red Funnel and us sums it all up, really. It's for the island, by the island, on the island. I think, they'll be able to say for the next 20 years, I built that, and the little kids who say, my daddy built that, and they should be proud of it. So I think it's great.
That means a lot to people, doesn't it?
I think it does. Yeah, we can put a Union Jack on the side of it and say, made in Great Britain.
For young people on the island, jobs can be hard to find, so being an apprentice on Red Jet 6 is a golden opportunity.
Well, I've basically been putting together some of the frames, been doing the fuel tank, and just, learning about building the whole boat, really. It's been good.
What do you think it will feel like when Red Jet 6 sets sail in the summer of 2016 and you can look at it and go, I was a part of that?
Yeah, that'll be a good moment, really, because I've been using it quite often. People I know have been using it, and you can just say, I built that. So, be proud, really.
One of the main aims of building Red Jet 6 at home is to make communities across the island feel like they're a part of it. Here at the Isle of Wight Studio School, pupils have been invited to help critique and design the development of the vessel.
It's really important, I think, that local people, local children, understand and own the challenges of such a build. They will understand how the manufacturing systems work, the challenges that Red Funnel face.
Red Funnel hope that Redjet 6 won't just bring communities here closer together, but also act as an inspiration for homegrown industry across Great Britain.
One of the biggest problems facing the maritime sector is the global shortage of seafarers. But careers at sea are attracting the attention of a new generation. UK maritime colleges are some of the best in the world, offering rewarding careers that open up a world of opportunity. Joanna Simpson has more.
A life on the ocean wave beckons for these students as the numbers of people going into the maritime sector is increasing. With more than 700,000 16 to 24-year-olds currently unemployed, this is one industry that is creating jobs. Those who've experienced it say a life at sea is rewarding, exciting and challenging. Fenna Boyle did just that. She left school at 16 and having worked her way up to become a navigator, she's now back on shore helping future seafarers find the right role for them.
You can go in as an officer, you can go into rating, you can work in hospitality. There are so many shoreside roles you could get into with the transferable skills you learn from being an officer. The list is endless.
There is currently a global shortage of seafarers. The Department of Transport's annual statistics estimate that in 2014 nearly 23,000 UK seafarers were active at sea. There were 300 more officers. That's the first annual increase since 2010. Many are hoping it's a trend that will continue, as they say the UK is uniquely placed to fill the gap. The UK Chamber of Shipping states Britain has world-class maritime colleges and training institutions. Its reputation for providing highly skilled seafarers comes at a price. Currently, nearly 2,000 officer cadets are in training. That's the second highest level for more than a decade. The plan is to broaden the options for people going in as ratings as well as officers. The government says it's assisting seafarer training through the Support for Maritime Training scheme known as SMART. This now covers just over a third of the cost of training a new seafarer. In 1998, it was half the cost, with shipping companies left to pick up the rest.
It's not an expensive course for the individual. For the shipping companies, clearly there is a considerable expense, but they know that in recruiting and providing the training for UK officers, they are securing the future of excellent officers for themselves and for the international shipping industry.
Currently, more than 250,000 people work in the shipping industry in the UK. Whether it's on land or at sea, the financial rewards are competitive. But this is the second most expensive country in the world to train seafarers. Some now say that as many people continue into shore-based maritime careers, it's unfair for shipping companies to shoulder the majority of training costs and want more government help. The government has increased SMART funding from £12 million to £15 million in 2015. Industry leaders warn we must continue to create more jobs as demand for skilled seafarers worldwide is only expected to increase. Those trained here should be retained to strengthen the sector within the UK.